Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another part of my thing. My thing where I'm making a robot Tetris announcer. Well, we've been trying to figure out how to get our announcer to recognize when a transition is going to happen. That is, the speed of the piece drops is going to increase. And that changes depending on what level you started at. So we did some stuff, created an analyzer, and now we have to fix our issues because last time I was a little uncertain that I had the right formula, and so I added some unit tests for the analyzer, but I couldn't quite figure out how to properly unit test the method because there were several issues. It was a protected method, and I hate using the internals visible to. I don't like adding code specifically for tests. Your code should be organized in a way that makes testing easy. So anyway, this code was not organized in a way that makes testing easy. And the issue is not that the run analysis method on the transition analyzer is protected. That is a decent thing to do because that method is not called by any other class. It's only called by the base class right here. So that's fine. The issue is my test, sort of. The test is trying to test this run analysis method. And in order to do that, I had this stuff and I was creating rectangles and throwing that and making game models, and it was kind of a nightmare. And I stopped last time. Whoops, I didn't hit record on that other mic. And I stopped last time simply because I ran out of time, but it was not in a, I didn't feel good about it. So I was thinking about it this week, and I realized that we need to make a transition calculator class and an interface that the analyzer can just use. And then we can unit test that calculator. So all of this stuff becomes meaningless. I think we'll try and keep what we can. But let's start the day off by deleting a bunch of code because all of this crap really didn't work out very well. This is the only thing that works, this and this. So this is the calculation of when your first level increase will happen. And we went over to that last time. It's different depending on what level you started at. And these are the levels where the speed of the pieces actually increases. So when you hit level 16, that's a speed increase. Anything between 16 and 18 is going to be the same speed. Anything between 10 and 12 will be the same speed. Anything between 19 and 28 will be the same speed. And anything above 29 will be the same speed. So you have speed level increases consistently until you get to 10. And then you have 3 levels where it's the same speed. Anyway, this is a canonical list. It will be fine. This is just determines when your first level increase will occur. So if you started on level 0, it says at 10, you'll get your first level increase. If you started on 15, it'll say 100, you'll get your first speed increase. And if you start at level 19, it'll say 230. You get your first 230. 20. If you start at 19 times 10 is 190 minus 50 is 140. Is that right? I took this from the wiki. I think that's okay. Yeah, 140 to your next level increase because you're 19 until 139 and then you go to level 20. Okay, so we're going to keep this and we're going to copy this and that'll be fine. All this crap is dead. Nothing. Yeah, it's just, let's just not concern ourselves about that right now. Let's go to our analyzers, and we're going to make a new folder, and we're going to say transitions. We're going to bring our transition analyzer into the transitions folder, just because we're going to make some other classes specifically for transitions. Okay, we're also going to make a... Now, I like making interfaces. You don't have to make it an interface, but I do like making interfaces. I calculate, I transition calculator. I like making interfaces just because we can mock them out. Oh, interface. I could do this. We can mock it out. Hello, Highton Dragon. Sorry, I don't usually look at my chat because very few people actually watch me. But I am making a Robot Tetris announcer. Welcome in. And I am trying to figure out when transitions will occur. Okay, so we're going to have a single method called lines until next transition. And we're going to actually make this a nullable. Because if you're more than 29, now it's never going to happen to me, but if you're more than 29, then you're actually not going to have another transition in speed. So we'll just set it to null if that's the case. And the key pieces of information is we need the starting level and your current number of lines. And that's it. That's all we should have to worry about. So let's go ahead and create this class. And okay. Transition calculator, and we will implement this interface. So I'm going to paste those two methods that we know work, and that's good. Yeah, that's good. That's all we need. Now let's go back to our transition analyzer. And we have a current game model. That's fine. We don't need these anymore. And but what we do need is one of our transition calculators. Whoops. And this will allow us to just use the output of the calculator in our analyzer. And so var lines until next transition. Lines until next transition, and then we want the current game starting level and the current state current lines. Okay, what's the problem here? Oh, right, because that's a lazy, so we're going to get the value. Okay, and then if lines until next transition is not equal, we'll say has value. I've got something shaking here. What's shaking on my... Something is shaking on my desk and it's really annoying me. Oh, that's oh well, it's okay. Okay, so if you have a value, meaning, you're not above level 29, for now, we're just going to say it. So we're going to be inundated with messages from our commentator saying, you have this many lines until next transition. We'll we'll make it more realistic with a probability calculation later. So that's it. That's all our analyzer is. But now we have a transition calculator. Let's go back to our tests, and we're going to rename this. We're going to make a new folder. Just 1 second. I'm going to put something on this. There we go. Stopped. Okay, we're going to make, no, we're going to bring this class into the transitions class. Yep. Okay. Fix up the namespace, and we're going to rename this as calculator tests. Yes, I would. Okay. Now, all of this stuff is gone. We don't need any of it. It's just, that was all infrastructure and setup for our analyzer. But this time we're just checking, we're just testing the calculator. So we have no fake calls. We don't have any. We don't need any of this stuff. Actually, we don't need this. We don't need this test class. Current lines and then expected lines until transition. So we are going to say new transition calculator. Okay, and then the system under test lines until next transition, start level, current lines should be expected lines until transition. Boom, we're done. And that's it. That's really it. This can be a void method now. And we can clean up our using statements. So that's it. Okay, provided all these test cases are actually true, this is our test. Let's go back to our transition calculator and figure out how we're going to do this. We spun our wheels a lot last time, and we'll try and do it for real this time. So we need to get the current level that you are on based on the current lines. So the current level, and we could actually bring in the current level from the game, the current state. But we can also calculate your current level based on your current lines. I'm wondering what's better. Let's pretend we had the current level. Just say it was 15. Like, now once we have the current level, how do we figure out when the next speed increase will happen? Well, next speed increase level equals speed increases. It's the first one that is bigger than our current level. And we should say or default here if we're really good and we're at 29. So that's the first one where we're going to get that speed increase. We're going to say if next speed increase has no value, oh, actually, wait a second. That's the predicate, first or default. Return null. Okay, so I mean, first or default will say, hey, I didn't find one, so I'm going to give you the default integer, which is 0. 0 is never a speed increase, so we're going to just capture it here, and we'll just return null. Okay, so now that we're here, now we can start figuring out when the next speed increase, how many lines away we are. So the next speed increase level, we have it. Now the number of lines until there is your, okay, we need a first level increase. So if your first level increase happens and you haven't hit it yet, so this is like a 15 start and we haven't yet gotten to 100 lines, or an 18 start, we haven't yet gotten to 130 lines. Well, this is simply going to be, we shouldn't actually do this, we should cache it. First level increase equals starting level, starting level. Okay. Get rid of this. So if you haven't hit it, what you're going to do, you know what? Let's do the easy one first. If first level increase is greater than or equal to your current lines. So you've hit your first level increase. Okay, var lines since first level increase equals current lines minus first level increase. Okay, and then actually we have our current level. We could just say, you know what, let's bring in the current level as well. Current level. Okay, so your first level increase is greater than or equal, so we've hit it. This is since we first gotten it. So in this case, if you started on 18, no, if you started on 15 and you're at 105 lines, we want to say that you're on 16 right now. So that's the current level. We're 25 away. So actually, let's say the next speed increase level minus your current level we can multiply this by 10. And then we can add to that 10 minus your current lines mod 10. Woohoo! So if you are on 15 and you're at 10, if you started at 15, you're at 105, you're currently on level 16. This would say 19 minus 16 is 3. So I think we need to subtract 1. That becomes 2 times 10 is 20 plus 5 is 25. So that's right. This is if you've already hit your first level increase. Okay. Otherwise, you haven't hit your level increase. So what we're going to say is return. And really, it's going to be the same thing, except we are first going to say first level increase minus current lines plus. So if we started on 15 and we were at 80, we need to first get to 20. Actually, that would be a speed increase. So we need to start on a level that wasn't a speed increase, or wasn't right before a speed increase. So if we started on 16 and we were at 80, we would transition to 17 at 110. So we want to say we have 30. And then plus the next speed increase level minus current level. No, minus current level plus 1 minus 1. It's kind of a, yeah, times 10. And then we don't have to do any mods because that's taken care of in the first one. So I think that's it. Did we use current level anywhere? Yeah, we did. We could calculate it, or we could just send it in. And I'm good with both. The computer won't get hurt if it has to calculate it. The only issue I can see is if, for everything you're taking directly from the screenshot, there is some error involved, although I've never had errors with the bright white numbers, like the levels and the lines and the score. So, technically, we don't need current level. I could figure it out myself. Let's just dump the current. Actually, and this is key, because the levels and the lines are lazy loaded. If you don't need something, don't use it. I think that's the philosophy we're going to have to do. Now, we could already be lazily loaded based on previous analyzers, we could have already figured out what the current level is. But perhaps we don't really want to, because nothing is saying the current level has already been calculated. That data has already been extracted from the screenshot. It might not. It might not. So I think the proper thing to do is just to generate it. It's much more computationally heavy to extract the data from the screenshot than it is just to do a simple arithmetical calculation here. So let's just get our current level, and we're going to do this. So we're going to do this up here. Our first level increase is this. Current level equals first level increase is greater than current level. First level increase is greater than current lines. You know what? Let's rename this. First level increase in lines. If it's greater than current lines, greater than or equal? No, greater than. Excuse me. Okay. If it's greater than, then we're still at the starting level. Otherwise, we are going to be at the current lines minus first level increase. That's the number of lines since we've gotten our first level increase. We're going to divide that by 10. And then we're going to add it to our starting level. And I think we need to add 1 to this. So let's say we started on 15. Oh, this needs to be first level increase minus current lines. Say we started on 15. Our first level increase would come at 100 minus current lines. Oh, no. No, this is right. Current lines is bigger. In this case, current lines is bigger. So let's say we started on 15 and we're at 125 lines. Okay, so we will be on level 18. That's the answer I'm trying to get to. 15. So 125 minus 100 is 25. Divided by 10 in integer arithmetic is 2. Plus the starting level, yeah, is 17. So we will have to add a 1 to that. So there we go. We've calculated it. The next speed increase level. Let's in lines. Okay, we've done that. Okay, that's it. That's all we need to do. Let's go back to our calculator tests and run all of these things and see. Let's rebuild my solution here. See if I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, I did do something wrong. Ah. Right. We moved namespaces, so let's do that. Okay, let's do this again. I know we have to register our calculator yet, but oh, yeah, that's right. Remove namespaces. Okay, let's. Good. Okay. So let us run this test and see what happens. Ready, set, go. Let's do it. Run. Now, if we get red X's, it might be because our algorithm is wrong or my initial setup was wrong. So we've got a few things that are broken here. Which one was this? So when you're starting at 10, you have no lines. We expect you to hit transition at 130. That's actually wrong. I mean, that is right. We expected it 10, 0, and 130. Okay, let's get that wiki page that we were seeing before. Wiki fandom Tetris, whatever it was, tetrisfandom.com. NES, Tetris, level speeds. Here we go. I hate these ads. Okay, if we started on 10, we're waiting till we hit 130. Level 13 will be our transition. So yeah, it is 130. So we calculated 30 only. So let's go back into here. We started on level 10, which gives us a first increase at 100. We are at 0 lines. Well, let's not. Yeah, let's actually debug this. So let's put a breakpoint right here, and we will debug this one. Okay, starting level is 10, current lines is 0. So first level increase in lines is 100. Now the current level is 10. That's correct. The next speed increase is 13. Again, that's correct. So the first level increase is greater than current lines. Yes, that's correct. So it's this calculation. The next speed increase is 13 minus the current level, which is 10 plus 1 current lines. Right. So I didn't actually add the first level increase in lines minus current lines. Because this gets us from our first level increase to the transition, but we still need the number of lines until our first level increase. So I think now that that's going to pass. And let's see how many tests that fixed. Ugh. I think it broke a whole lot more. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Found 20. If you're starting on level 0, we expect it to be 10. Yeah, I do expect it to be 10. Thank you very much. Current level is 0. Next speed increase will happen at 1. So 10 lines. We haven't done any lines. So what are we doing? We're going to take 1 minus the current level. Oh. Which is 1. Then we're going to subtract 1. So that'll be 0. Minus 0, minus 1. That's all 0. And our current lines is 0. Wait a second. Yeah, I mean, this is adding up, but the thing is, this works for this very strange case where you're starting from level 0. Actually, let's have a look at what else happened. Ugh, but found minus 40. What is... Here we're starting on level 9, and we have 150 lines. So our first level increase is going to happen at 100 lines. Our current level, though, is 15. So the next speed increase is going to happen at level 16. So 100 minus 150. Okay. That's why. Okay, so current lines here is the bigger one. So we gotta move this over here. Current lines minus that. Now does that work? No, it still doesn't work. What am I getting? I found 60 this time. Man. I mean, you'd think this would be simple. But it's never simple. And because I do all of my brain thought processes live, I look like an idiot. So what does work? 18, 135. You're actually at 95. A few of these work. Why would this find only 65? You got your 100. You're on level 19. Your next speed increase is going to be 29. You've already hit your thing. So now I'm going to take current lines. I'm 35 lines above my first level increase. Why do I care about that? The next speed increase level is 29 minus the current level is 19. That's 10. That's 100. Current line's mod 10. That's just the remainder. Do you have 5 or 6 or 7 after a level increase? So this should work. Actually, no, this will show 105. Let's go back here. Come on. This is total lines before level 29. So 15, 230 is what we're after. Minus current level plus 1. Those boundary errors are tough. What did we expect? Oh, I went the wrong way. Minus 1. Okay, let's go back to our tests. The problem here first level increase happened. Okay, we are going to make 2 tests. And it's going to be okay. Not happened. Because these really are 2 separate things. So you haven't done this, you haven't done it yet. You haven't hit it. These are when you haven't hit it. Now 8. You start on 8. You're trying to get to 9. Lines before level increases. You're trying to get to 90. So you have this, in this case, you haven't transitioned at all yet. You haven't transitioned here. Here you have. These ones you haven't transitioned. You didn't transition yet here either. So let's dump that down there. These ones you did transition. You haven't transitioned. But in this one you did transition. I just want to separate these because I want to see if at least one of my branches is working. So those are all working. Well, most of them. These will all fail, I bet. One of them works. Gosh darn it, Tetris. Why can't you follow simple rules? Okay, what's the problem here? This could just be me setting up the test data wrong. Expected 40, but found 0. Well, what is this? At 150 lines at level 9. You're trying to get to level 9. You'll transition at 100 to level 10. But now you're on 14 because you're 50. You've just transitioned to 10 at 100. You're at 150 lines. So this means you've just transitioned to 15. So you should be 30 lines away. That's an interesting one. I think we might need to debug this a little bit. Did I calculate? Yeah, you are on 15. So your next speed increase will happen at level 16. Which is what that says. So that's fine. Your first increase is less than your current lines. So we go over here and we say current lines mod 10. That's fine. That's 0. And we're going to add to it 16 minus 15, which is 1. Which means you have to do this. Oops. That means this has to be true. Holy crow. Why can't... Yeah, this doesn't follow any rules. 9 is just stupid. Because if I take that one away, this is going to pass. I said this is going to pass. It's not even going to pass. Expected value to be 40, but found 10. Crap. Well, I don't expect the value to be 40. Thank you very much. I expect it to be 30. What's the deal with all these? These are all broken? This is the only one that works. Starting on 10 and not. Huh. I thought for sure I could do this today. But obviously, my thought process about the best way to calculate this is just broken. Because the stupid thing is, um, you're going to get a speed increase at 9 at 100 lines. And then 10 lines, 20 lines, 30 lines, you're going to get another speed increase. It's 130, 140, 150. You've just hit level 15. So it should be 10. If you started on 9 and you were at 150 lines, you should get a speed increase in 10. What's this? Oh, I don't know why this doesn't run. Okay, it's still borked. Expected value to be 10, but found 0. Why would you find 0? It doesn't make any sense. Why are all these other ones calculated correctly? I might have to rethink about what's going on here. Because there's two very, very different scenarios in the game, and it's when you start level 9 and below, everything makes sense. Once you start at 10, things don't make sense anymore. Whoops. They just don't make sense. Because 10, you transition to 11 at 100 lines. But 9, you transition to 10 at 100 lines. And so I think that's what the issue is. Although this case works with the 10 and the 105 and the 25, and I'm really, really frustrated. So I really think we have to deal with these in two separate cases. And if we find out at the end that it's fine, they can be combined, we'll combine them. So let's get our current level and our first level increase in lines. And we're going to comment all this out. And we're going to say if current lines is greater or equal to the first level increase in lines. How much time have I been at this? 56 minutes already, and I've done absolutely nothing. Get lines until next transition. And we're going to, no. If starting level is less than or equal to 9, I want to call this normal mode, but get lines until next transition less than 9. We'll just say less than 9. We have our first increase, first level increase in lines. We're going to have our current lines and our current level. Otherwise, we're going to get we're going to split this up into two separate greater than 9. Yeah, because 9 you increase at 100, which is level 10, and it makes sense. Your current level, yeah. So if you're less than 9, this is the place where it starts to make sense. Next, speed. Increase in level equals speed increases first or default. X is greater than your current level. And this is going to be a nullable int. Okay, now if you haven't, there is a next speed level increase. Everything in this scenario makes sense. Your next speed increase in level minus your current level times 10 minus current lines. I don't see an issue with this. this. We started on 8. The next speed increase in level will be 9. If we're at 85 lines, 9 minus 8 times 10 is 90. So then we just subtract our current lines. That should be fine. I'm going to go back to our tests and rip these apart. Let's make some more tests. Awesome. Lines until transition. Less than 9. Start. We're going to grab this. We're going to put this in there. We're going to add these things. It's essentially the same thing now that I'm... no, actually, it's not the same thing. So we're going to have a bunch of test cases here when you start at or below 9. I want these. I want these. Blank that out. Let's run these tests. No, what's the problem? Of course. Lines until transition. Less than... Oh, come on. Now I'm getting upset. Oh, right. Return. Return. This is a nullable int. Okay. Oh, come on. What? Return. I should maybe stop because I'm getting frustrated. I don't know. This calculates properly. That calculates properly. Found -2? What are you talking about? When you start at level 4, you have 12 lines. You're trying to get to 50 lines. Why would you find -2? I just don't get it. Your next speed increase is at level 5. So you're taking 5 minus 4 times 10 is 10 lines. Oh, wait a second. No. Your next speed increase in level times 10 minus current lines. It's a really, yeah, that's right. That's why we separated these. Because this is a super simplistic scenario. This should work for everything. Okay. All right. The problem now is when you aren't bigger, when you're greater than 9. This is when things get all out of whack. So let's get rid of this. because I'm gonna have to just do this again. Like the first level increase. And look at this. I never even used this. We don't even need this. This is like simple. Okay, so in this case, we have our first level increase in lines, our current lines, and our current level. So we're going to do this. The first speed increase is going to be the same. We're again going to have this same check. Here's where everything either lives or dies. Trying to think if I should do this next time or do this now. It's already been over an hour. I try and limit myself to an hour a week. Let's just keep plugging away. Okay, so the issue is the next speed increase in level. We have that. We know what current level we're on. We have that. We know how many lines it will take to get to that level. It will be 100. First level increase in lines. So first level increase in lines is greater than current lines. Okay, what I'm going to do, yeah, so lines from first increase to speed increase. This is craziness. Okay, and this is going to be, it's always, no, that's not really going to work. Not in all cases. Not in all cases. We have to get up to the first level increase. So our next level in lines. Okay. If your first level increase in lines is greater than your current lines, haven't hit any kind of transition. At all. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Oh. Yes. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I think I just came up with a way. And it's how many lines away from first level increase equals your first level increase minus your current lines. Now this could be negative if you've passed, but that's okay. If you look on the wiki, it's 100. It's always the level minus 5 times 10 is your first line increase. So lines from first level increase to speed increase equals it's your oh no, we need the starting line. We need starting level. Let's add the starting level in here. Come on. That was pathetic. To the speed increase is going to be starting level minus 5 times 10. That's the first level increase in lines, which is exactly this. So I actually don't need this. It's the lines. It's the first first level increase in lines. Plus lines from first level increase. Wait a second. Lines from first level increase. Lines from first level increase to the speed increase is the first level increase in lines plus next speed increase in level minus current level. No. minus current level plus 1. That needs to be times 10. And then we're going to add to that lines from first level increase. Oops. There's so much craziness happening. Less than lines until transition. This is greater than 9. Start. I want to take these test cases and bring them down here. And I don't know. We'll just run it, and I'm sure they'll all be red X's. Oh, and they're all red X's. At least they're all wrong. Expected to be 130, but found 240. Everything is wrong. Expected value to be 40, but found 190. This is an interesting one. This is when you've started on 18 and you have 90 lines. You're trying to get to 40. 130 is when transition happens. So we're going to come in here and we're going to say your next speed increase in level is 19. Your lines from the first level increase is 40. You're going to take the 130. You're going to take 19 minus 18. Is 1. Well, that's true. I wonder if that should be minus 1. Still all broken up. Where's my 40? 10, 25. Here's my 40. I found 170. That's really strange. This is 40. Your first level increase will be 30. Your next speed increase is 19 minus your current level, which is 18, minus 1, which is 0. So you're taking your first level increase in lines, and you're saying lines from first level increase. Interesting. I don't think I need this. Interesting. So in what cases did it fail? Found 120. If you start at level 10, how many lines until your speed increases? You're trying to get to 13. At 10, at 100, you're going to get to 11. 110, you're going to get to 11. 120, you're going to get to 12. The thing is this. I think you need to get to 130. You started at level 10. Once you get to 100 lines, you're at level 11. 110 lines, you're up to level 12. At 120 lines, you move up to 13, which is a speed increase. Did I do that right? I think that's right. I think this is actually this. So I think in that case, my data was wrong. Why doesn't this run? So now I've got 3 errors. The thing is, this is one I know. I know this is right. Because you're already on. Whoa, excuse me. You're already on 16. So your lines from your first increase is -5. That's fine. Your next increase speed and level is 16 minus 19 minus 16 minus 10 is, and then we're adding. Yeah, we're subtracting 5 there. So this would be fixed by subtracting. What about this one? Nope. Okay, this has gone on long enough. I'm gonna have to call it a day. I didn't expect to spend 4 or 5 hours on trying to get this transition crap to work. Anyway, we'll pick this up next week. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.